Hello, hi all. So today in this session we are going to understand what are the scope of variables in the Python. As we know, in the last session we have covered, which is week 2. Till now how much we have covered is the week 1 where we have understood how we can install the Python, right? What are the variables, data types and basic operation we have performed. So that is in the week 1. Then week 2 what we have checked or what we have covered already is the control statement, what are the conditional statement, looping structures, for loop, while loop, and we have already understood what are the functions in the Python. Two types basically built in and how we can create user defined functions as well. So in this week's session 2 we have the scope of variable which has been left out in the because of the very, if I've covered it would be a very long video, so I have told that we will cover in the next session. So here I am. Let's start with the scope of variable. So let me take you to the my PyCharm. So you can see this is the user interface of my PyCharm. Okay, this is nothing but a Python interpreter. So we can have a multiple Python interpreter in the market. So PyCharm is one of the best. Why I like the PyCharm is you can see here you can get the complete hierarchy of the files which you have created. Here you can open the files and in the bottom you can see the output as well. So this is why the user interface is very good, so that's why I like it. So what I have done is I have created one file here, LEGB rule. Okay, so I already told like how we can create Python. A file is like we have to right click on the project, you have to go to new and select the Python file, give the name here and hit enter, then your file will be created. So in this we are going to understand Python variables. Okay, so in Python we know we are having two types of variables. Okay, global variables and local variable. So global variable, as its name suggests, it is globally available to the interpreter. That means the variable which is declared globally, which is not inside the function which is declared on the top of the program, it is accessible by the Python interpreter anywhere in your program. That is why it is called the global variable. It has a wide accessibility. Okay, local variables are those variables which is declared inside the function, and the scope of that local variable is inside that function only. If you wanted to access this local variable outside of the function, then you will get issue or error. Okay, now apart from that, as we let me remove this code and let me create one. So to make you understand the global, let's say I have created one this variable. Okay, and I have created one function. Nothing is displayed here. um, Test. Okay, and we have to put the colon. Do not forget to put the colon to make any function, and there you have to print I. Okay, so you can, if you execute, so you will get the value 10. Okay, we have not called this outer function, that's why there is no output for it. If I call this outer function, you will see the 10 and test. So this is a global. If you wanted to, so that's why we wanted to print this, so we interpreter is able to access it. Okay, now let's suppose if I declare this I is equal to 10 inside the function. Okay, inside the function, and I'm trying to access it. Okay, let me remove this and I'm trying to access this I. Okay, so I'm getting the this error, I is not defined. Why? Because this is declared inside the function, and this is not a global, this is a local function. So we can access this local variable inside this scope of this function only. We cannot access this variable outside. Okay, if we print here now I. Okay, and if I call this function, so you can see if I execute it, now I'm able to access this value 10. Why? Because this is a local. So this is a difference between local and variable function, and local function and variable function. Okay. Now what is LEGB rule? So LEGB is basically, first of all, it stands with local and enclosed, global and built-in variables. So this is the rule for the Python interpreter to access which variable first. So it will go and access the local variable first, then enclosed variable, global variable and built-in function. Not only the variables but also the functions and objects as well. So this is a sequence of scope of the variables, functions or objects in Python interpreter, the way they will execute it, or the way they will use this or access this variables. So we understood local and global, but what is this enclosed and built-in? Okay, so I'll tell you. Let's suppose enclosed is basically when we have a nested function structure in Python program. In that case, we have outer function and inner function. Okay, so if the variable which is declared in the outer function, those are enclosed for the inner function. Okay, in order to make you understand, let's create a outer function here. Okay, I'm sorry, it's a colon, and here we can put it as, let's suppose 10, and I'm going to print it as I. Now inside this I am going to create one inner function. Okay, and I use it as t is equal to 40 and print t. Okay, now if you wanted to uh, call this, because we have created a structure here, we have not called. So what we have done here is we have created a function. Okay, this is outer function where inside we have declared a variable. This is local variable. Basically this is local for outer function. Okay, in the outer function this I is a local variable. Okay, and for here if I make it as I is equal to 40, sorry, keep it as 10 here. And now for inner body, I is enclosed variable. This is local for. So in context of inner function, this I is a enclosed function. It's an enclosed variable. Okay, let's say I. Okay, sorry. Let me use here g is equal to 10. So this is nothing but a global. This is global variable. Okay, because it is declared outside of any of the function. Okay, and this is a local variable for outer function, and this is local variable for inner function. Okay, now if I wanted to call this outer function, we have to call it from outside, but in order to call the inner function, because the scope of inner function is inside the outer only, so we have to call it from the outer function only, like this. Okay, so if you try to execute it, you will see what will happen is it will go, interpreter will go here and it print the value I, and then it will print the value t. So this is how this I mean this is the local variable for outer, and for global, if you wanted to print, if I print g, then if you execute it, it's coming as 10. Let me make it as I is equal to 10 and I is equal to 12 here and I is equal to 14 here. Let's see what will happen now. Okay, see, oh sorry, I have to remove this. Now what we have done, we have declared the same variable in all the scopes, in global, in enclosed and local. So this is enclosed variable in context of inner. So what will happen, when the moment it execute outer, it will come here. Okay, and it is printing this one 12, and then it is printing 14, and then outside it is printing as a 10, because this is a global variable, this is enclosed. Now if you wanted to you make use of you wanted to what do you call, reference this enclosed variable in the inner one, or we can say if you wanted to override the value what we have in the outer function in the inner function, in that case we have a keyword that we need to use it, that is called non-local. Okay, so for that, how we need to do, non-local is a keyword and I need to make it as I. So what will happen, this value will be changed forever. Okay, I is equal to 2, it is assigned and printed as 12, but this value is now overwritten as 14. Okay, for forever it will be 14 now. Okay, so this, the thing is, it is getting overridden. So if I execute it, we'll see here the first is enclosed, this is 12, and we have override this value and make it as 14. Okay, if I execute again, so let me remove this print. Okay, so here what we have, what did happen is that we have changes the value of I to here. Okay, let's suppose this inner is nothing but a addition of function. Okay. No, that's fine. So see here what happened. It has changed to 14. Now the similar thing, if you wanted to access the global variable inside the function, in that case, what we need to do, if you wanted to overwritten the variables which is declared as very global, and you wanted to change that value in the function. So in that case, or we can say if you wanted to refer the global variable, so you have to make it as global I, and you will change this value. Now we have to remove this. Okay. So global. So what happened? I is equal to 2, 10. Then we have declared this outer function, and now I am going to refer this global variable only and change this value from 10 to 12 overridden. Okay. And the same thing in inner. I have removed this non-local, commented this out. I will tell you the reason why I have commented out, because the same this has already been overridden. Okay. Now if I try to execute it, what will happen is, see here, what happened is it will change the value to first it will execute it outer. Okay, and it is 12, then inner is 14, print 14. So first it print 14 and then it print what you call is print I, and which has been changed, see 12. So this line number 16, it print I, earlier it was displaying 10, but now this has been changed by the outer function, and it value is now overwritten as 12. So now we are getting here the 12. Okay, now if I use this non-local here, so what will happen, I'm going to get error. Let me check. No binding for non-local I. Why it happened? Because see, what we are trying to do is, this is a global variable, we wanted to refer it into our outer function using the global keyword. Okay, now inside the inner function, again we wanted to change it, override the value of this global to this, but we cannot use do it using the non-local keyword. Non-local keyword is used to refer the enclosed variable, not the referenced variable. Now this is not an enclosed. Now this is I is equal to 12 is not a enclosed. This is a referenced global variable, because we have used the global, and that type of variables we cannot access in inner function using a non-global. So we cannot use both global and non-local in the same program. Okay. So this is what is about global and non-local. Now, so local, so this was the enclosed and global and built-in rule. So the last scope, the last variable is built-in variable. So built-in variable, like the variable which we have in the modules. Okay, like let's suppose if I wanted to import pi value from the module math. Okay, so for that the code should be from module math. I need to import value pi. Okay, and this is something I have done, and I have created one global variable. This is a outer. Let me override this value, and here it is a local, and let me try to access this pi. Okay, pi value, and I have called this inner value. Now again, see what I have done is I am trying to access the built-in variable which is already present in the module math. I'm trying to access global variable which is already been referred in the outer. So that means value is changed. Then I'm trying to access the local variable as well. So let's try to execute it. Okay, it says unexpected indent. So there is a problem because of this. The indentation is very important in Python. Otherwise, Python interpreter will not understand what is this variable, this particular declaration is inside the inner or inside the outer. So it's not able to understand it, of which we need to give the proper indentation to the code. Okay. Now it is executed. Now you can see outer when it executed, the global value. Okay, it goes to here. Value is, it goes to, okay, it goes to here, and it assign values to 12. Then it calls the inner function, it comes here 14. So first it print 14, and you see here it prints pi, the value of pi which is coming from math module, and then it is printing the, it's trying to print the global variable, but since its value is being changed, so it will display the 12 instead of 10. So this is what is LEGB rule, and it is not only applicable to the variables, but it is also applicable the similar way in functions and objects. Okay, so I hope you understood. Let's come with the in the coming session what we are going to understand in the data structures. What are the data structures in the Python, list, tuples, and some of the interview questions also related to this. Okay, so I hope you like the video. Thank you and have a nice day.